Hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Emily Webster. I am a 5th year second grade teacher in North Texas, and welcome to my classroom tour for the 2023-2024 school year. Now I realize when you're watching this, the 2023-24 school year will be over. I'm now technically a 6th year second grade teacher. This is Emily from the future, but when I was going to edit this video, I realized that I didn't have an introduction, so I figured I would make one now. But I, over the last 5 years, have worked really hard to create a classroom environment that is warm and inviting, is functional, is efficient, and makes me feel happy every single day that I step inside of there. This classroom truly is the classroom that I am the most proud of, simply because of its efficiency. It worked so well. I have systems and routines in place that I know are tried and true, and I will be continuing to use. More on that later, but I'm so proud of this classroom and I cannot wait to show it to you. Full disclosure, when I recorded this classroom tour, it was at the beginning of May, and I want nothing more than to be real and authentic with you, and I'm going to open up drawers and they're not going to be organized. I am going to show you some filing systems that I have that are completely not organized. I'm not even going to touch a cabinet because I am so embarrassed about the contents inside. I say that simply because everything that is student-facing is very organized, and it is that way by design, but when you open up cabinets, it tells a different story, and I just want to be real and authentic with you and let you know that up front. So without further ado, let's jump in to this year's classroom tour. I figured the best way to start is to go ahead and just give you a pan around the classroom, so I'm going to do that first. Here is our second grade classroom. I'm still trying to play around with the lighting settings on this camera, so here's this. Keep in mind, this is a very lived-in classroom in May. So as you can see, the door, it always matches the school theme. And this year it was be kind, be a leader, be a champion. And so I wanted our door to say a class full of champions, and then their names are on jerseys with their corresponding class number. But because it is a lived-in classroom, you can see that I'm missing the L in full, the O in of, and the I in champion. So there's that. Here at the door, we have our hall passes. As you'll see, I was very intentional with everything that I placed in this classroom. So I put things where I think that they make the most sense for me. So for example, the hall passes go by the door because they need to use these when they leave the classroom. And then our go bag right here, we take this with us when we go on field trips, when we go out to recess, and any type of drill that we have. So inclement weather drill, fire drill, etc. And it has all the things we need in there. It's my trash can. Our scoop rockers. The reason that these are here is because every day after lunch, we have 15-minute silent reading time. And the groups, you'll see right here, the colored groups, they have specific days that they get the scoop rocker. So when we come in from lunch, they drop off their lunch tag, you'll see that in a minute, and then they grab a scoop rocker if it's their day to have them. Also, we have our soccer ball here. We used to have a class like recess bag, but they ripped it, so now we only have a soccer ball, and that sleeping bag was for a school assembly, and I just have yet to take it home. Up here, we have our SEL bulletin board. It's kind of looking a little sparse, but we're a Leader in Me school, so my intention was to have the habit that we're talking about that month on here, but I forgot to change it out. So I have plans to kind of revamp this, but that's what goes here. Right here are any of the anchor charts that pertain, oops, I just knocked everything over, that pertain to Leader in Me or our SEL time. So those are our classroom big rocks. We talked about goals and dreams not too long ago. And then I really liked this poster that a child made me, so I put it here. But like I said, this I plan on revamping to make it something different. We will come back to the classroom library because now I knocked all that over. But right here, we have one of our reading bulletin boards. I'm also going to revamp this too. I love this quote, every book is an adventure. And we have our 5-finger rule, like what do I do for picking a book? And then the phonics skills that we were focusing on. I just need to revamp this. I don't quite know what I'm gonna do yet, but I do like the quote and I do want this to pertain to reading. So there's that. For our science bulletin board, it has, I need to find a better way to do this. Our science bulletin board, we just finished up our animal adaptations unit and our life cycles unit, so that's why that is there. And I know it's covered up, so I'm thinking that I switch around some bulletin boards, but it's worked fine for us all year long, and you know, there's that. In this classroom, you'll notice that I have different zones for things. So I have a reading zone, I have a math zone, a writing zone, etc. And it just kind of helps like space out everything. Okay. Our classroom library, pretty self-explanatory. We have a cute little bench seat. The kids love to read here. And then my books. They were organized at one point, and I had every intention of making labels to go on them. I just never did. And now we're kind of getting a revamp of our libraries where we have to get them checked out and make sure that all of our books can stay. So next year, I fully plan on making labels and having these more organized. So anyway, there's that. But they can come and pick books and sit here. It's a flexible seating spot. They can work here, all the things. Right here, this is really special. This is our gratitude basket. So there's some cards in here, and at the beginning of the year we talk about this, and they get to write things that they're grateful for, and our book buddies are nicely holding it. So there's that. Right here holds different graphic organizers. I'll be super honest, we weren't able to use a lot of these this year because our reading curriculum changed, but I have plans to revamp this too. And during their independent reading time, once they pick a book, they can fill out a graphic organizer to go with it. So that's what that was for. Right here is our computer cart. I can open it up for you. Our computer cart with all of our lovely Chromebooks. And I needed a place to put my class jobs, so I just put them on here with their corresponding number. Right here was the best place to put like anchor chart paper. I used up all my anchor chart paper, so there's really not a whole lot there except for some poster board. Right here is all, I almost tripped, all of our lovely cabinet space. I call this the student center because they can access all the materials themselves. So I made all these labels. This, again, we're in May, so all of our notebook paper is gone, but they have notebooks they can use. Erasers, expo markers, glue sticks, tape. We have lots of tape. Tape right here, but this was supposed to be sticky notes. And then down here used to be staples for the two staplers that we have. You can't see that one back there, but the two staplers that we have. Right here are the scissors, our pencil sharpeners, because this one, I will spare you me using it, but it sounds just atrocious when you go to use it. So I had to use this one, and this one doesn't work as well. So the system that I was doing was sharpening the pencils, putting them in here, and then the kids were trading them out, but then that was a big old mess. So now it's just all the pencils there. Wipes if they need them, and then student mailboxes. So these are things that need to be passed back. On Friday, we did a fun little craft, and so those need to get passed back. And then the crate. Yeah, so here's that, our student center, and then our birthdays up here. Inside these cabinets are instructional materials. I'm very proud of this cabinet. It's not perfect, but you know what? It's decent. It has labeled for all of our units. And then down here, I need to make labels for these, but these are our PBLs and just miscellaneous resources that I can use. I do like this system. So this is the math side, and my plan this summer is to get more of these and create reading unit buckets to go on this side, because right now this is just kind of like a catch-all for all of our extra resources, and I just feel like I could utilize this space better. And now that I know that those bins in that cabinet fit perfectly in here, I want to buy some more. So there's that. Down here in this drawer is miscellaneous Mr. Sketch markers, paper clips, just office supplies, sticky notes, thumbtacks, those types of things. Down here is all of our indoor recess activities, or ketchup and pickle, like our pickle activities where they can pick an activity. I am missing Legos that go right there. Our tutoring teacher has them, so I need to get those back. But it kind of looks chaotic, but it's the best we've got, and it's where all my stuff fits. And my whole idea of this student center area is for them to just self-serve themselves. It's worked really well for me. So if they've noticed, like at their tables, there's all these caddies. When they run out of something or they need something, they can just come over here and grab it. Okay, I'm gonna show you this, and I'm kind of nervous about it, but this is our construction paper area. Again, it's self-serve, so it's kind of messy, but it is what it is and it works for us. So maybe it'll be organized by color one day, who knows. Right here, this is not for the students, this is for me. This is I call it my tools drawer. It's a hot mess, but it has our calendar months. It has these stickers that I use for color coding everything, Velcro dots, extra name tags, binder rings. It's a mess, but I know what's in here, so first gonna close it back up. Okay, in here, whiteboard markers and some glue sticks, it looks like, and maybe a pair of scissors, and these need to go in here. Easy fix. Right here is pencils galore. I have more pencils than I know what to do with, and then I'll get more next year when school supplies come in. Here is colored pencils, glue, and crayons. It's just a hodgepodge because, again, the kids come in here, and honestly, I really don't mind. At least I know where all of it is. Down here, the kids do not touch this. This is my school laminator and our laminating pouches. I did have a student last year, though, that loved to laminate, and it was so sweet. And then right here is all of my bags for centers and activities. So there's that. We're going to close it up. Okay, now right here is our writing center. Oop, focus. Here's our writing center. And then right here, it doesn't always look like this. We are doing a plant activity in science, so a teacher that doesn't have a window is also housing her plants in here. But this is our writing center by the window. I think it's so cute. That's not the greatest lighting, but you get the idea. And yes, 3 students can sit here actually very comfortably. So we'll just start over here on the side. Each week we have 10, they call them high frequency words, but usually they follow a spelling pattern. I put the 10 words here so they are encouraged to use them in their writing. I put exemplars of things that we've worked on. I made these projects, so if you are using the HmH into reading curriculum, these go hand in hand with that, and if you want them, I can give them to you. And then for each unit, each HmH unit comes with 3 big idea words, and I love to just put them here as a space for them to live, and again, it encourages them to use them in their writing. In the writing center, they get to use colored pencils and markers, so that's why those live here. And then these are really special. These are in my TPT store, but I have writing prompts for all of the seasons. So they say things like this. So while I was spring cleaning, I noticed ... and they get to use these in the writing center along with the vocabulary words, like some just vocab cards. Super cute. And on this ring, I'll show you what goes here in a minute, but they use those prompts and those vocab words with these writing booklets that I made. They are also in my TPT store if you want them, so that during their reading station time. Let me get this clipped back up here like that. And then we have a writing checklist, which really only gets used about the first semester, but I think it looks nice here. So the only thing I think that this is missing is a place for anchor charts to go, so maybe I need to look at that, but I do like this, and it's a nice little writing center area. These stickers are for sticker stories, and then over here we have everything that they can need for the publishing, or for publishing or for the writing center. So sometimes there's some like grammar stations back here or squiggle stories or things like that. That hook that I was showing you, each month, I just don't have them for April or May. I need to print them, but so like September, it comes with different writing prompts for September with some vocab words. And so I just change it out and it lives on this hook right here. So that's normally what goes there. My idea for this writing center, if you've seen any previous videos, was for them to be able to just interact with it in a way that best fit for them, because I think it's important for students to be able to write and have choices in their writing. So there is that writing center. Okay, moving right along. Down here, we're venturing into my territory or my space. So my 10 drawer cart is where I organize all of my copies for the week. I don't organize it by day because that's just too much for me, so I typically will organize it by day and then put it in the piece right here. So we are at the end of the year, so there's not really a whole lot in here, but I plan on laminating these and using them when we talk about nonfiction text features. I got that idea from Mrs. Katie in elementary. She does that with her 3rd graders, and I think that's so smart. Down here is this writing pencil. It like makes a pencil. It lived right here, but I need to find a better way to connect it. This right here is where my files go for my exemplars of like crafts and things. I need to organize it better, but like this was 100 Days of School one. You saw the Grinch down there. It's kind of a mess, but we're gonna organize it more later. And then my DRA kit is down there. On top of here, since this is we're venturing into my small group area, I have all of my small group headbands. I've talked about those in a video before, but I wear them at my teacher table to signify to the kids that they need to ask 3 before me, unless it's an emergency, or if there's a cute man with coffee at my door, then I can, you know, they can interrupt me. This is my radio. I take it with me for bus duty, for dismissal, out to recess, and then any of the drills that we have. And then this was from Lucky Leprechaun. I just have yet to take it home, and I think it looks cute here. So there's that. And then these are where I just file certain things for me. And then this quote, I love this quote. It was given to me my 3rd year teaching, and I just really appreciated it. Okay, now to my small group area. I'm just going to go back a little bit. Everything that I need for small group is here, as well as some reading manipulatives. So as I stated before, we switched reading curriculums this year, so I had to get creative with where everything went. Now, this is kind of how I have it organized. This is the reading side. This is mostly the math side. So we'll start with math first. These are all my math group bins. So anything that I'm using for each of these groups, I put inside of here. So for group 3, you're doing this arrays activity as a group. So I put it here. We have whiteboard erasers. That's my prize box. And those are our base 10 blocks because I use those the most. Like place value is usually where the most gaps are, so that's what I use the most. That's my miscellaneous bucket. These pom-poms do actually serve a purpose. I can talk about them later. They were for color coding all of my supplies. This is some work for one of my English language learners, so I have that there for him. And then this is my small group tray. So I have pens, pencils, whiteboard markers, a dice, anything that I could use for small group, I have here. So like these for reading, I have those in here. The scissors, if we ever do something where it involves scissors, my hole punch, just anything that we could need, my 100 charts right there. So there's all of that. These binders are different curriculum and things. That's my portfolio. That's my data binder. Oh, that's our budget binder. That's for UIL curriculum, and then all of my station work. Actually, this is my phonics binder, but the rest is curriculum. And then right here is just a book that I got one year as a teacher appreciation gift. A picture, because I love the quote on here, and at the bottom it says, "We didn't realize we were making memories, we just knew we were having fun." And then everything that I need for me, so miscellaneous office supplies, but I use it for grading. So here are my stickers for grading. Here are sticky notes and leadership tickets. That's a incentive at our school. And then Staples tape, more leadership tickets. Okay, now for reading instruction. Our curriculum came with leveled text, so I have those here, and I can pull the book that I need and then plop it in the bucket. Again, we're in May, so not really doing a whole lot with those, but that's typically what would happen here. And then whatever phonics skill they're working on, I try to find a fun activity to go with it. And like they were talking about prefixes, and they were doing a novel study, so there are those things. Here are my interactive whiteboard trays that we use when we're talking about different spelling patterns. Here are all my teaching pals and my teacher manuals for our curriculum. And here's our writing one. But what I like to do is have the unit that we're on, this book, as well as the writing book in here, so that way I have it and they're easy access. All of the read alouds for HmH are in here, so I can just pull the one that I need. And then here are some decodable books. We bought these with grant money, so that's why they're here. They just didn't have a place. And that's a random cup. Up here is all of the notes and things that my students have made for me, and I just love it, and it's so sweet. Anything that was given to me I have up here. Like that was my student teacher in the fall, and oh, please focus. And I just adore and love her, so I keep that here because I miss her a lot. All right, moving along. Oh, and this is my teacher table, my lovely teacher table. I love my teacher table. Right here is our Wow Work wall, and before I get any comments about why I don't have everybody on here, we talk about what it means to have Wow Work. Everybody out in the hallway can have all of their, or has all of their work displayed, like everybody has a place, but in the classroom, this is exemplary work. So this is like, you really went above and beyond, you took it from ordinary to extraordinary, and that's why I have this here. I'm gonna spare you me opening the cabinet because it is just a hot mess express, and I'm embarrassed about how like awful it is. So I'll probably just do an organization video of that. All right, here is my desk. This is actually the first year that I have ever had a teacher desk, and I need to change that to say Mrs. Webster, but I'm holding on to person for as long as I possibly can. Okay, so inside my teacher desk, it has some storage. We have a stool, and those were from the beginning of the year, and I just kind of always left it there. So here we are. Envelopes for whatever I need. This is my junk drawer, or junk basket. Inside of here, I have my keys, my phone, some whiteboard stuff, and then this was a bingo prize of mine. And then these for my lights around my TV that I have yet to use. The only time that they ever came on was during an impromptu observation. So there's that. Inside here is any curriculum things or any of my like exemplar notebooks, a whiteboard, my school computer. I use my own personal computer, so that just lives here. Our hand to mind, my umbrella for when it rains, and then thank you cards. I have so much stationery. So, and then I do a lot of my teaching from here with the document camera and my computer and all the things. Okay, moving right along. Here we are. This is our, focus. This is our reading board. Yes, that goes for science, but I created it with the kids and it's just kind of living here for right now. Up here, I will have the vocabulary for each unit. I'll be super honest, I haven't changed this for a couple units because, again, I keep telling you we're at the end of the year, so I need to get better about that and find a new system. But the vocabulary for the unit, the spelling pattern, our hand signal cards, and the shower caddy. I absolutely love this thing. I was influenced my third year teaching with a Target ad for teachers, like get back to school time for this, and they like, that needs to be dusted, but they talked about having a plant in here, putting what you're reading. I put my Mr. Sketch markers here for anchor charts, my student grouping pencils, which I love, brain break booklet, and some SEL like mindfulness cards. So I love this. It's easy access, it's easy reach, and it makes things just so nice and simple. All of our reading anchor charts or ELA anchor charts are here, and I typically have them on the shower curtain rod, but I just don't right now. Right here is where I put all of our seasonal read alouds. I store them in there, and I think we're running low. I need to get some more spring books, but that's what goes there. I have my Trofast shelves. Now, what's supposed to happen is I'm supposed to have my reading, those are the reading ones. The reading ones go under the reading board, and the math ones are supposed to go under the math board. But this year when I put my room together, because I switched rooms, I forgot to switch them around. So math just lived here all year, and honestly, it was fine. So inside of here, I have different leveled activities for the kids. We're doing spiral review right now. So we have our independent practice, our fluency games, and our hands-on math. There's my phone with a directory, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, right here, I will keep the copies for the day usually. So remember that spoon craft that I was talking about? All the copies for that were right here. That basket's not normally there, it goes in our copy room, but we're starting our theme days next week, and our boxes were so full that I needed to bring it in here to sort through all the things, so I need to do that later. Right here, these need to be pulled out a little bit. Right here, these buckets are extra school supplies as well as books. So this one, extra books. This one is extra pencils. Told you I have more pencils than I know what to do with. Extra colors, there's a random glue stick. And then inside here is our clipboards, and I have some clipboards to bring from home. Here is our reading drawers. I'm gonna be so honest with you and tell you that these really didn't get used a whole lot this year, simply because we changed curriculums. I'm going to revamp them for next year to fit our curriculum a little bit better, but right now here they are. Right, here's our math board. Very proud of this. Again, super intentional. Anything that I felt like pertained to math goes on this board. So we just finished up fractions, so fractions goes right here. Before you say anything about the graph, because I told you we just finished fractions, I could talk about the graph. I was so proud of this anchor chart because we made it as a class. It was the first time that I really felt like I had a student and teacher created anchor chart that went over really, really well. And so that's why it's still there. I'm super proud of it. So anywho, there's that. And then we have our multiplication up there. We were talking about arrays. We have our schedule. We have our lunch count, the date, and our calendar, as well as our student versus teacher 10 frame. So they won, and this is to remind me that they won. We won a experiment in the science lab, and we're gonna do that on Wednesday. We're gonna make ice cream. So here's our schedule. Used to be in rainbow order, but then our schedule changed, so I just never changed it. Here's our specials. We have a very complex system. So the schedule is right here, and I taught a student to change this. So at the end of the day, she knows to change it. All of our cards are here, and this is where we keep I call them dots for our 10 frame. Magnets in case I need them. Our class bear, which is really special. So my student teacher in the fall got this for us as her class, like her going away gift. And whenever they complete their amount of lessons in Dreambox, they get to ring the bear. Hold on. Yay! And then we sing our class chant for them. So it's very, very special, and that's what lives there. Our lap desks for flexible seating, they live here. Our lunch count, those are just numbers that I made with magnets on the back. They come in the morning, they make their lunch choice, and then I know who ordered what. And, our date, I have a student who is in charge of this. That's why it's a little crooked, but at the end of each day, I have a student who comes down here, changes the calendar, and changes with our magnetic numbers. I've had these since my first year teaching, and I'll never go back. Yeah, I think that's really all for our math board. Right here is our calm down corner. So this is my growth mindset poster. Down here I have a pillow that says chill zone, and here is our calm down basket. It is so dusty, but there's a Pop-It in here, a book called Stay Cool, an emotions book, and then our breathing technique cards. So there's that. Oh, and then the pinwheel, they take a deep breath in and then they blow, and they do that a few times. So that's just to get them calmed down. I really should have cleaned this out and think about it, but you know, here we are. It's May. What I want to do for next year is revamp this, because while I love this poster so much, or while I love this bulletin board so much, it just is like not really doing it for me. So I think I want to make this like an SEL corner where we talk about the habit of the month, and have like our champion of the month and all of those fun things. So I do want to revamp this just a touch. Okay, and then we have our cubbies. I love these cubbies. It's where we keep all of our things. We have our leadership notebooks in here, and then some work that needs to go home. When they come in, they put their water bottle and their lunchbox in here. I keep their water bottles in here to prevent spills, but this is theirs. And it works out quite nicely, really. So, but really kind of Okay, so my camera battery died, so we're gonna record on the phone. We'll see how this goes. All right, up here are things that I use personally, or the kids. Those books were for each of our different units, so they just lived up here, and now that we're doing spiral review, they can go grab the book that they need. Up here in this bucket is headphones and some charging cables. Right here is miscellaneous class things like books and just anything that I thought I needed to keep. These two buckets right here are any classroom decor. So this one is seasonal decor. This one has a little bit of seasonal decor, but like extra border and just letters and all the things. And then this bucket and this bucket are book club books, which I need to take down. Woo! I need to take down for the librarian to go and look at. So there's that. And then the students hang their backpacks on these hooks we share, and it is totally fine and it works for us. Right here, this I like to call my coffee shop corner. What I would really like to have here is a table of my own, like a bar top table with big stools for them to sit at. In my classroom where I didn't have a window, there was a fake window in here, and the kids loved to sit here. So I have my letterboard that says "You Matter," our clock. It's still working. A sweet poster that you can't see because of the glare. Some nice words. Our class promise, our class mission statement, as well as our specials calendar. And this is just our info center that I like to call our info center. Right here, these buckets, they say A and B for A group and B group for specials. They're communication folders, how we like communicate with parents. They go in here and those go with them to specials. So that's why those are there. Right here are our lunch tags. So remember when I was talking to you about everything needs to be intentional? They need these when they go to lunch to scan to buy their lunch. And these color-coded dots correspond to their tables. So each table has a corresponding color, and I can insert a picture or talk about it, but each team, like the orange team has the orange cup. They're supposed to have pencils with the orange eraser. These at one point were so nice and had an orange sticker on them. The glue sticks had an orange sticker on the top, you know, and I didn't have orange scissors, so I put red scissors in here. I personally really loved this system of color coding, and I will be doing it again next year, but I wanna save this for a different video. I want to talk to you about how I'm going to revamp the color system just a little bit, but I really loved it because, here I can show you, I really loved it because if I found a pencil on the floor and it had a blue eraser, I knew where it went immediately, and I had some subs that were like, oh my gosh, that was so genius. I loved having that there. So each team has a table caddy with erasers and pencils and whiteboards and all the things, and it just worked out really, really well for us.
So there you have it. There is my classroom that I'm so proud of. After 5 years, I can finally say that I have a space that I am just truly the most proud of. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share so that way other teachers just like you can find and keep the joy in teaching too. And stay tuned for more content because it is now summer vacation and I have just caught the YouTube bug. I have all sorts of ideas for YouTube videos, and just so you know, because you stayed till the end, coming soon are the things that I am changing for next school year and things that I'm keeping the same, as well as lessons learned in 5 years of teaching. So stick around. I'm so glad that you're here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.